Alrighty, okay, dokie now. So this is a very special video. Today I'm going to be driving Mormor, aka she's not my Mormor. I just call her Mormor. Max's Mormor. So Max's Mormor immigrated here to Sweden from Scotland. She immigrated here when she was 25, and when I moved to Sweden and met her, we just clicked. One, yes, English is her first language, but two, she understands like the immigrant struggle, learning a language later in life, and she reminds me a lot of my great granny. She's so funny. Her sense of humor is just like...
Say something important. You have 80 years of experience in this world.
I'm going to fart.
It's so nice and refreshing to be around. Today, I'm picking her up. We are driving to Göteborg so she can catch a flight to Scotland. She's 82 years old. This woman she reminds me so much of my granny. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna get her. She's in the house. I'm gonna get her and we're gonna drive 3 hours to the city. From there, I'm going to meet up with my friend Victoria, who is a clothing designer, stay the night, and then leave the following day. Age does not stop you from going on adventures, so you're never too old to do adventures. Oh, it has wheels, Mormor.
Are you real?
It has wheels.
There's gravel on the path.
Oh, okay.
Take a bottle of water and buller for us.
Oh, that's good. Oh, bulla. Do you have more bulla?
You can take. I'll put in 6 for you to take to your friend.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Are you ready?
I'm ready. As always.
You excited to fly to Scotland?
No, really. I'll just think about things. Like if I'll have to wear my hearing aid in the plane. You know, if the noise is
If it's too loud. So we're going to do 3 hours.
2.
2? Okay, I'll do it in 2. Okay, so we have arrived. How are you feeling? Okay.
3 hours may never stop.
Hey, dog. VIP. Doc. Okay, so Mormor is jet setting her way to Scotland. Safe travels, Mormor. I love her so much. I'm so glad I waited until someone put her in a wheelchair and like wheeled her off. It was a bit of a distance to walk from where we were to the gate, so I'm glad they have that service. So yeah, if you have someone older in your family and they want to travel, just make sure they get, like, they're handed off properly. I didn't realize it, and I think some context as to why I'm so like on her is because my granny didn't like she didn't like flying. She loved traveling, she didn't like flying, and she would take a bus to visit us in Toronto for the holidays, and she's been doing it for so long that it would bother me, and I'm like, Granny, just take a flight. She never wanted to take a flight. So one Christmas she took the bus to Toronto, and she was fine coming to Toronto, but when we dropped her off at the bus station, I should have stayed with her. I don't know. I don't know how young I was. I was young though. I was like 20s or something. I dropped her off and I didn't stay with her. And instead of waiting in the bus shelter, she was waiting outside. And she waited. By the time the bus came and she moved to get onto the bus, she collapsed because of the blood. And I felt like complete, utter crap. Anyways, that was the last Christmas she came to visit us. I feel really guilty about that. So when Mormor was saying she wants to go to Scotland and she was going to take a train from her home to the airport, I'm just like thinking of also myself, because I have taken the train here in Sweden and I miss trains. There's connections. I miss it, and I feel like such an idiot, and I just didn't want to see her in that position either. I'm just happy that she's safe on my hand. I hope y'all collect your people over there in Scotland. You know who's hungry?
The beaver. The beaver has eaten this whole place. It's like,
That beaver is
it would be
mad.
nice if you can tame a beaver. It would be super efficient. Like you wouldn't need any. Like if you're self-sufficient, if you're self-sustained, if you live like self-sustainably, it would be nice to have a beaver that's
instead
tame.
of like
And you just tell them what you want them
saw,
to cut. Yeah.
like you could just take a beaver
Yeah.
to the woods and be like, hey, cut this one down.
And it's like it leaves also like kind of fun, like sawdusty looking things, like
Wood chips.
Wood chips.
Oh, you could use that like in the garden.
Yeah.
Like some like covering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, beavers.
The beavers. You're so fascinated by this beaver.
Yeah, because it's just like running amok out here. It's just like tree after
Even
tree.
tree over there. It's like across the river. There's
A fallen tree.
oh, grandma,
Grandma.
murmur. We don't know grandma on this channel. She's
No,
known
she's
as murmur.
Mormor.
You have to admit, isn't it great to have a word, the English word, that it's so confusing to me that there is just, you say grandma or grandpa, but you don't know if it's your father's parents or your mother's parents.
In Swedish, they have
Mormor
like your mother's mother
and father's father.
or
Yeah.
mother's or father's mother, farmor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to actually just thank you for driving her there, getting her there safely, and that you have your American ways of not punctuality. I wouldn't say punctuality, but I would say
Getting ish
firmness
done.
or like directness or something. Like I think that's the reason why you managed to send her off in a wheelchair with a fast track. What do you call it, like escort.
Yeah, so Mormor wasn't aware that when you book tickets, you can check off like elderly assistance. I don't know, she booked it through a third-party website.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, is just like she was doing everything on her own.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for help, and I think the problem with people who are too independent, especially, elderly, they only ask for the help that they think they need versus the help that they actually need. And so she didn't ask for help, and then when Max comes in and tries to add elderly like assistance, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, because it was through a third party. So that was another reason why at the airport I was adamant about like she needs help from here to the gate.
Yeah. So I'm very happy that she's now in Scotland. She's been talking about this trip for a very long time, and I think, if I recall, she was back in 5 years ago, and I do remember this because I feel like when I was in Colombia when I met you, I was like texting with them in Scotland.
Oh, your Mormor was in Scotland.
So a little backstory: my granddad passed away on
So you're
the same year.
Morfar.
Yeah, my murfar, exactly. He passed away 2019, and from suffering from a lot of sickness for a very long time. And my grandmother didn't feel comfortable for the longest time to travel by herself in order to leave him. Because when they traveled back in the days, they would just go, both of them. But when he got, the worse he got, she felt less declined to.
Of course, she's not going to leave him.
Yeah, but we finally, because she hadn't seen her sisters and her nieces and nephews for such a long time, so my uncle and my mom and my sister, I was living in Berlin at the time, they came together and arranged so that they could take care of grandpa, so that grandma could go by herself.
Oh, okay. So she went while he was still alive,
Yeah,
and your mom and your uncle were
we're
watching.
taking care of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the last time, and since then she's been talking about it a lot. She became a widow. There was a lot of adjustments to that. There's been, a pandemic has been in place. There's been so much happening. So finally, we're a little.
Oh yeah, this was the first trip she's taken
Yeah.
since then. And so now, your Mormor, being from Scotland, she's the only Scottish family member.
Left in Sweden.
Yeah. Oh, she has friends though. She has.
Yeah, they were back then. There was like Scotland was going through a lot of like, not poverty maybe, but they went through rough times, and Sweden had opportunities. Sweden was booming, so there was actually a group of Scottish people who traveled to Sweden, migrated to Sweden for a better life. So, yeah, she's still in contact with. That's true.
Yeah. So it's always nice when I come over there because they speak Swedish with an accent, and then when they find out that I speak English, then the Scots come out and they talk
Scottish
like that.
accent.
James McAvoy, Scotland accent.
Something that triggers with me when grandma is in Scotland is that I'm realizing how important she is for my Scottish inheritance here in Sweden, because
Oh, your identity.
my identity. So having her go there, me being in touch with all the family in Scotland to make sure that she's fine, like it's like I take pride in her journey there, because it's like that is part of my culture too. I lived there for a while with some family for a couple of months as well when I was younger, and I have my British passports now that's due because my mom is Scottish. So I have these things that it's really important for me, the identity part, and for some reason, not for some reason, but I feel like my Murmur represents a lot of that.
Yeah,
I feel
because
like
she
she's the
embraces
she's-
her
Yeah, she
Scottish.
embraces the Scottish culture a lot, and she's
Because your
very,
mom moved here when she was very young.
Yeah, and I think that my mom also take pride in being Scottish, but I think naturally, I think she feels more Swedish than Scottish.
Yeah,
If
because
I
she
get to
came
speak-
here so young.
Yeah, and so my uncle too, but
But it's funny because when Max's mom and his uncle speak English, it's English with a Scottish accent.
Yeah,
It's so cute.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's never too late to travel, whether you're on a plane like Mormor or on a bus. Oh, Granny. Escorting your granny on and off the bus. Yeah, it's never too late to adventure and travel, explore the world.
If you feel like your elders have the energy,
If they want to.
if they want to.
Yeah, you can't force you cannot force an old person on a plane.
No, you
That's
can't, no,
for
of
sure.
course. No, that's true. But maybe you don't have to enable, like if you have elders in your family who are mentioning about something they want to do, and if you have the time and efforts, then like I think they just need that assistant, a little bit of help. To
Yeah,
get
and
there.
it did help that I kept like annoying her. I was like, so Scotland?
Have you booked it?
Have you booked? Actually, yeah, she told me that she found prices that were super cheap. And I'm like, more, you better buy it. And then she was like, oh, I'm gonna wait. And then you looked at the flights and you told me the prices.
Yeah.
Ryanair, shout out to Ryanair.
Yeah.
And I was like, more, those are really cheap prices, Max told me. And she booked it right there
Yeah.
and then. So sometimes they just need some support.
Okay, so a week has passed and we're at the airport in Gothenburg, and I managed to persuade my sister to come with me and pick her up so that the trip would be not as intense, because we have to drive there and then back, and it comes up to like 3 hours. So we went with a lot of foresight. We stopped in a nearby town and did some shopping at some secondhand stores, so I feel like I have a lot of moral support. But yeah, Mormor is back after the 82-year-old has done her trip back home. She calls it home. And it's funny because it will be a little bit of a surprise also for, because she doesn't know that Matilda is with us. So, välkommen hem mormor. Hope you had a good time. We're very, very proud of you that you have the courage, and we're happy and blessed that you have the physical capacity to travel by yourself, although you have such lovely grandkids who are taking care of you. You are also doing part of the work, so good for you. But we're happy to have you back on Swedish soil. I don't know why, but she's online on Facebook. Okay, so it says that the last luggage is now in the van. And last time when she arrived in Edinburgh, she didn't get her luggage, so I hope that it doesn't happen like once again. Is that her?
Nu kommer hon.
Welcome home. Or is this home? Or no? What's home?
Nej, jag skulle
Du har two home.
aldrig flytta dit.
Oh really?
Nej. Trafiken och...
Mormor,
Ja.
can you give me any advice for any other 82-year-olds who travels by themselves?
Don't.
Has it been hard?
No.
I expected you coming back in a wheelchair. They sent you off in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and I asked them at the airport and
They said no.
they said there was nothing there. But I got really good.
Yeah.
It is, and it was a long. I would never have managed it if Maya hadn't have been. And the woman was saying, "Oh, I don't know about taking my case in," and Maya's. And I says, "Come on, Maya." And she said, "Did you get embarrassed?" And I says, "No, I didn't get embarrassed. I was just pissed off with that woman."
So the advice would be not to go.
Yeah, of course.
If you were
of
to
course.
go-
If get help to the what do you call it? The feet there. Yeah.
So
That
assistance.
was good.
Yeah.
That was good. And I had a front seat, so I could. I was first off the plane, first on the plane.
I mean, what a lucky surprise. I brought Matilda.
Yeah, that was a real surprise. And I tried to phone you, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I saw you being online on Facebook, and it started stressing me out because I was like, I hope she didn't. Because we looked at all these people coming in here, and we thought that everyone from
The
Scotland.
majority of them doesn't have
then
in check.
I walked, but I
Yeah.
walked up to one of them, and I said, "Excuse me, where are you guys coming from?" And she went, "No, thank you." So she thought I was like a shady taxi driver.
Home at last. Home at last. Thank you, God. I am home at last.